Nice, yeah? Very nice. And the speakers are not bad either. Hello, welcome to Pursuit of Perfect System. I hope you are well, staying home and staying safe. And I thought it was about time that I did a little show and tell you about the very interesting speaker system that you can see on the desk there behind me, because it is a very interesting speaker system. And it is a speaker system that surprises you in a lot of ways. It really isn't what you would expect. Looking at what the manufacturer says about themselves, you can see that that is totally their intention. But what are these speakers? Well, they are the Boenicke W5s, the standard version, not the SE or the SE Plus, which are upgraded versions of the same speaker system. Boenicke Audio are a Switzerland-based company that was founded in 1999 by Sven Boenicke. I have met Sven at different hi-fi shows and he looks very much too young to have run a business for over 20 years. Boenicke Audio have set out to create something different with their speakers, not different for different sake, but they want them to be unique and, using their own words, exceptional. For starters, the woods that Boenicke Audio use are real woods, not MDF. They use oak, they use ash, they use cherry, and this pair of W5 speakers are made from American walnut. The grain of the wood is real, and you can see that really by how the finish is ever so slightly different on the different sections of the speaker cabinet, like you would expect to see with real wood. The fit and finish is exquisite, and the speaker has a lovely curved profile. It's a speaker I would say has an IKEA-like clarity to its design, and by that I just mean that it's simple and that it's elegant in its design. What's not simple is the internals of Boenicke Audio speakers. They are amazingly complex. The W5 is not the best example of this purely because of its size. If you look at some of the other internals of some of the larger Boenicke Audio speakers, you can see what is, I can only describe as, amazing internal design. And this is all made possible because the Boenicke Audio speakers are made from solid real wood, which is CNC milled. And I assume that gives Boenicke Audio much greater design freedom. So with all of this design freedom, they've decided to manufacture and make some of the slimmest, most unobtrusive speakers that are going. They are definitely speakers that your wife will say yes to without hesitation. Now there is a lot, and in a way not a lot, going on with the W5 speaker design, and it's extremely interesting. The W5 feature a 3-inch wide-bander driver on the front, which has a first order high-pass filter and a unique electromechanical 8cm parallel resonator installed. I'll hold my hands up and say I do not know what that is, so that will be the first question that I ask to Sven. On one of the side profiles of the W5 is a 5-inch long throw bass driver that has over a 9cm X-Max, and that has been tuned to 50 Hertz. Hold on, there is even more. On the rear of the W5 speakers is a rear ambient tweeter, WBT next gen binding posts, and the port is on the rear of the speaker. So the second question I want to ask to Sven, why a rear ambient tweeter? Internally, Boenicke Audio have used specific silk wrapped Litz stranded cable, which is an attention to detail that this audiophile really appreciates. Now the next thing that is unique to the W5s is their party trick. Hold on. That's right, they dance. Clearly my desk is not as solid as it needs to be, but it's not an illusion. That is because the Boenicke Audio W5s can have a custom spring suspension system installed on them for use on desks or maybe on furniture. There is also more of a traditional type of speaker stand for them, and the speaker stand is quite a unique and interesting design. It really reminds me of something like a microphone stand or maybe a music stand. When the Boenicke W5 speakers arrived, the box that they came in really threw me. It was much smaller and lighter than I was expecting. The speakers come in a protective cloth bag, and you can pick them up and you can easily move them around, and you can pick them up and you can easily move them around. And obviously I'm stressing that point because quite often with speaker systems, they weigh an absolute ton. So moving them around and setting them up for placement becomes a real chore. It's not the case with the Boenicke W5s. If you want to adjust their towing, you can do it with simply movements of your fingertip. Setting the W5 speakers up is, again, very interesting. Obviously in here on a desk type of situation, I'm naturally very limited with where I can place them. But because the speakers are very slim and because they are very small in their footprint, I've been able to get the speakers as wide apart as possible. And that has really helped with their overall soundstage size and scale. The user has the choice to use the W5 speakers either with the bass drivers on the inside or the bass drivers on the outside. Now, Boenicke Audio suggests for setups where the speakers are 2 meters apart or less to use the bass drivers on the outside, but that's not a hard and fixed rule. What Boenicke say is a hard and fixed rule is that when you move the speakers around, you need to give them 5 days to settle down to sound their best. So that will be my third question to Sven. How does that work and what is happening there? Also, Boenicke Audio say that there is a 250-hour running period. Now that's a serious period of time, and that is where I'm at so far with these speakers. I've put as many hours on them as I physically can since I've had them here, but 250 hours takes a long time, and I'm going to put those number of hours on them before I do any real critical listening, any real critical setting up, and obviously any review type of listening. But I have listened to them quite a lot, so I'm able to give you a pretty good first impression. So for my first impressions of the W5's sound quality, now there needs to be a huge caveat here in the sense that I know these speakers are going to take 250 hours to run in, so I've really just thrown together a bit of a makeshift system just to put the hours on them. And for about the first 80 hours, I don't think I even really turned them up very much, but I thought, well, let's take advantage of the time to write this script and really give them a workout and turn them up. And I've been extremely impressed with the kind of bass that they produce. Now, not the sort of bass that you'd expect from a small speaker that's trying too hard. I mean actual genuine quality bass. And the W5s have a very clear sound and a very open and wide soundstage, and I know a lot of you are going to really like that about them. And I would say that they are a musical speaker. And what the hell does that even mean? Well, as I say, I've put together what I would class as a makeshift system, and I don't have things set up perfectly at the moment, and yet I'm able to just play all different types of music and just sit there and listen to it and really enjoy it. They're not being overly analytical, they're not pulling that music apart. And don't get me wrong, I'm sitting there listening to it thinking, well, this can sound a whole lot better than this. I'm sure I can make these speakers really sing, but it doesn't matter. I'm still able to just sit there and enjoy the music, and that really does mean a lot, doesn't it? Well, it certainly means a lot to me. But the flip side to that is I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to really push these W5s to achieve a really impressive sound quality, even coming off a desk in this very small room. It's kind of like a bathroom sized room, so I can really hear the potential in these speakers, which is very, very exciting. But what do these Boenicke Audio babies or beauties, you decide, cost? Now, the W5 speakers recently had an SE upgrade, so some of what you used to get in the SE model is now included in the standard model. The price of the standard model for the W5s is £4,895. The W5 SE model is £6,290, and the W5 SE Plus are £8,284. So for my final question to Sven, what would an audiophile expect to get in sonic improvements from the SE and the SE Plus versions of these speakers? Back to the SE5 standard model, they cost nearly 5 grand or £5,000. And I know there'll be audiophiles out there that will be saying, I can buy big speakers with 25 tweeters for £5,000. And you're totally right, of course you can, but that is completely missing the point of what these W5s are intended to do. They're designed so that you don't need to have big speakers with all those drivers and all those tweeters. And I have read some people call them giant killers. So it's exciting. It's going to be interesting to find out. As I mentioned, I'm still in the running in process with them. Then I need to spend the time to really fine tune and achieve the best sound quality that I can from them. Then I'll bring you a demonstration video and then a review conclusion for them, like I always do. And I am really looking forward to spending some good time with them, some proper listening time with them. And that's all coming soon. But please bear with me. All of this takes a long time. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been helpful and useful and enjoyable. If you enjoyed it, obviously hit the thumbs up button. I'll definitely be seeing you soon. There's lots more coming. Thanks for watching. Take care.